The Nigerian theatre and film arts departments are killing talent. Don't get me wrong, not physically, but creatively, spiritually, and mentally. Because you go into school, you have so much fire, you have so much passion. But 4 years later, you are tired, you are uninspired, and then you are wondering, is this really what I signed up for? Now, nobody wants to say it out, but here's the truth, right? Our theater departments have become more about surviving the system than building stars or creatives, right? Over the course of my study, because I have a diploma in theater and film arts and I have a BSc in theater and film arts. So yes, I spent about 6 to 7 years studying theater and film arts in a Nigerian university. So I do understand what I'm talking about. Now, over the years, I've seen many brilliant performers lose their spark because along the line of them learning, someone has said to them, oh, that's not how we do it here. That's not how we, you see that statement, that's not how we do it here. In some departments, confidence is seen as pride. The fact that you are so sure, you are sure of what you want to do, or you are sure of, you're certain about the ideas you have in your head, you'll be like, oh, you have pride. And then innovation is seen as rebellion. The fact that you want to explore other plays, other options is seen as rebellion. Why? Because they have a system. They have a certain number of plays that they perform, right? We're going to go into all that, right? So you can, my question is, how can we teach creativity when we put people in a box? We do not give them the freedom that they require to be creative, right? Theater was never meant to be robotic, which is something we see in 95% of the theater and film arts departments we have in Nigeria. It's not meant to be robotic, right? It's meant to be creative, innovative. You know, it's meant to give you the opportunity to breathe, right? But the truth is, how do you breathe? Then again, how do you breathe when lecturers want to control how you think, how you move, how they think things should be done creatively? You know, imposing their own idea of creativity on you. Now, the problem isn't just about the syllabus. The syllabus is one problem, right? The syllabus is one problem. It's also the mentality. The mentality is another major problem we have in the theater and film arts department, because we're still running courses that belong in 1987. I kid you not. Most lecturers in Nigerian universities are teaching what they were taught in 1987. This is no joke. If you ask them, most of the plays they recommend you to do were the plays they did in their own time. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying historic plays are outdated or do not have value. I'm saying we should be giving more students more creative opportunities. We should be giving them more space to endorse innovation and creativity, right? And another thing is, there's no real focus on screen performance, no proper film acting modules, no voiceovers, no theater tech training. It's just let's continue. Meanwhile, abroad, studying theater graduates are becoming filmmakers, voiceover artists, producers, animators, working in educational field, working in HR field, working in so many vast fields abroad, right? But here we're still doing departmental plays every semester with the same dusty script from 2009 and the costumes that our forefathers used. How are we supposed to move forward if all we do is go back in time? Don't get me started on the facilities, right? The facilities are something else, because half the stages are broken. The sound system hums, gives this very terrible sound, and then like generators, we have to run generators. If some even have generators, there's literally, you could be having a play and then the lights could go off. That is, all these things are, I think I'll make other videos to actually explore more on these things I'm mentioning, right? You'll be lucky if you're mid acting and the lights doesn't go off. It's in my time though, while we were having our performances on stage, the lights will go off, and then over time, since the lecturers knew, oh, this is going to happen, when it happens, freeze on stage. You have to probably freeze, and then when you have to wait for the light to come back, or you have to wait for them to put on the gen. So while you're acting and it goes off, you remain frozen. Oh goodness gracious. Well, let's move on. Then after all that long suffering, because I call it long suffering because it actually is, you graduate and then you realize the real world doesn't even recognize half of what you have learned. Now, there's no mentorship, like I said, no career bridge, no theater industry pipeline, or producing passion, but we don't have a platform for the passions that we're producing, right? But here's the painful part. It's not the student's fault, right? It's a system failure. In some cases, I'd say it's also not the lecturer's fault. We have brilliant lecturers. We have some brilliant lecturers. We have some creative lecturers who are stuck fighting for funding, trying to keep departments alive with little or no government support. Some lecturers even go as far as using their own personal funds to assist the departmental facilities just to make sure their students have to get to experience certain provisions while in school. So yes, the structure is killing talent, but it's also suffocating lecturers who care. Because imagine trying to teach creativity and you're filling attendance sheets and begging for rehearsal space. You see, this topic of rehearsal space is something I'm going to discuss in an entirely different video just for rehearsal space, because that is something, oh Jesus, it's something a lot of theater art students actually have to endure. And then at the end of the day, you see them rehearsing in different points or different spots within the campus, and then they'll say theater art students, they like to make noise, they're always everywhere, but then you do not provide rehearsal space for them. I'll make a different video for that. You can check my other videos in the future to get that. Now, for this video, I'll proceed to say, if we truly care about the Nigerian theater space and we want it to grow, we need new models. Now, I'm speaking to the government, I'm speaking to states, I'm speaking to those in charge of the theater and film departments in the country. It's not just Nigeria, it's Africa at large. We need new models, one that connects theater to media, digital storytelling, and real life opportunities, right? That's why personally I created the imaginative theater, because we're building a bridge between the classroom and the creative industry. We're showing that theater is not just stage acting, it's a voice, it's screen, it's story, it's screen, it's sound, it's imagination, and it's revolution, right? So the next time you see a theater art student, don't be insulted by saying, oh, why are they rehearsing here, they're making noise, we have classes. You have to understand that proper provisions have not been made for them. And honestly, I believe that if proper provisions cannot be made by the government, they should close down the department. Because if you cannot provide, it's just like having medical students with no medical laboratories, right? If you cannot provide medical laboratories, it's as good as not being able to teach your medical students. So if you cannot provide rehearsal space for theater and film art students, I believe you should close down the department until you can provide the facilities they need, right? So like I said, the next time you see a theater art student, do not be disrespectful. You can probably sympathize with them and help assist them in their course to get a rehearsal space. Because believe me, if they get their own rehearsal space, a space of their own, you won't see them all around looking for a space to rehearse, express themselves, and still come back to be graded and given D. Because I'll speak about this in different video, right? If you've enjoyed this conversation so far, My name is Imaji. I'm a theatre arts professional, a storyteller, and the founder of the Imaginative Theatre. If this message spoke to you, kindly subscribe, share this video with any theatre artists or lecturers that you know, and I'll see you in my next video.